just a stunning area. I remember we came here in 2013, Mike, skiing all morning, down to the lake in the evening for a little bit of sunbathing. The contrast was phenomenal. And of course, thousands and thousands of people have easy access to this stadium, the Sylvie Beccar Stadium.
And you can just see in the background of our graphics there in the central picture, look at the spectators around all of this 3.3 kilometre track. It's going to feel like a Tour de France, far less biathlon.
Yeah, they've forgotten it's Thursday. You know, normally we see these crowds at the weekend. This is midweek. What is it going to be like Saturday, Sunday? And I think we've been consistent through the years, Mike, saying it's so important that you have access to the tracks. That's really where the skiers want you to be.
Yes, and the venue, this is an unusual, I suppose it's not unsimilar to Hochfilzen, you know, on the edge of a village. You can have the people around, the spectators around the track in Hochfilzen and many venues, but they've just flooded here. They love World Cup biathlon coming back to France.
Well, I'm sure you're casting your mind over the start sheet, and those of you who know your biathlon will have picked out that nearly all the big names are going in the first group. Johannes Tingesbo at 34 was also in Group 1. He just happened to have drawn the last bib in Group 1, which I guess suits him. Everyone else, who is anyone else, is in front of him. And I'm trying to find an exception, Mike. I guess Johannes Dahle of Norway, who starts 45. Well, is going to be the first man away, not having a bad season, lying 18th. He's got one win to his name. Can he add to that today? I think it's unlikely. Everything's, I think the condition's going to have to change dramatically once he's finished his second shoot to give him a chance. But he won the pursuit in Östersund at the World Championship. So that was probably the biggest surprise in Sweden last year.
It certainly was. He had given indications previously in Antholz leading into the World Championships. But you know, if you're going to have just one win in your career, may as well make it a World Championships or Olympics.
Vincent Gay, did he win again? Won the Olympics in 2010, his first one. I think
Didn't win again.
The only one he got. Yep.
Didn't win again. Tero Seppala used to race with his father, Timo, who's his coach. That must be quite a tough scenario, a father coach coaching your son. I had experienced that, but I felt it was you can get too close. And Scott's actually down in at a Junior Cup right now, an IBU Junior Cup, which I think is a great idea from the IBU, making sure that the junior athletes get involved at a younger age.
Starting number 3, Andrei Rastoguyev from Latvia, and had a pretty good race last time out in Hochfilzen. Made some good gains, 20 places gained in the pursuit. Problem was he started back in 39, so just squeezed into the top 20. But this is the master of recoveries in pursuit, Mike.
Lukas Hofer, he certainly is, but I'm worried about his stand shooting. The 2 sprints we've had this season, he's missed 1 out of his last 5, having cleared the prone. His prone is excellent. Yeah,
but I think the point is he likes this sort of track as well, with easy shooting. Last time we were here, he was 40th in the sprint, pretty miserable day, got all the way up to 7th in the pursuit, and had he hit that last target, he would have been in the top 5, which would have been one of the best recoveries ever in a World Cup pursuit. Scott Gow for Canada, and the Canadians on a high. Scott hasn't really done anything in the individuals, but he was part of that relay team that finished 4th last weekend, and he shot 0-0.
It's brilliant. And when you look at their track time, Patrick, in the relay, yes, it's 7.5 kilometres, and you can take the pain a little longer, or you feel you can last or stay with the faster athletes. I thought they had a magnificent performance there. Yes, they've had one better in Oslo, but I thought that was a brilliant performance, and hopefully confidence building for the Canadian team.
Seb Samuelson, who's not really done anything since he won that first race of the season, the single mix relay. Was a fine performance from him on that occasion with Hannah Öberg, but the shooting's been wayward since then. He's only 22. You keep forgetting he's such a youngster and so much potential, but I hope they harness that well. The French are getting ready. Number 8, that was Simon Dessieux. He's got Martin Fourcade starting right behind him. But first, Erlend Bjørntegard of Norway, and a man who's certainly capable of getting into the top 5. but I think he falls into that bracket where he has to be clear to achieve that.
He does. I've got a feeling he will get all of these 10 down today. In fact, I think he'll be the first of the clear athletes today. He's only missed one from last 20 in sprint competition.
Now, just listen to the noise when this man leaves the start gate, Simon Dessieux, and then it will get even louder for Martin Fourcade, who starts number 9. Dessieux never done better than second. He's done that on 4 occasions. Is today going to be the day? If he was going to choose a race, this would probably be it. Lots and lots of fans here for him. All the French are skiing well. That's something we've noticed. All the French are looking just that little bit stronger, particularly in the upper body. And I think that's the work that Vincent Vito has done.
It is. All maybe except one, Patrick. Maybe at the cost of the past best in the team. But I really do hope Martin is back today. This is where he wants to shine.
Well, what is he now? 31. Maybe his quickest days have come and gone, but that was a pretty rapid start from Martin Fourcade. 10 world titles to his name. He's got 4 Olympic Games individual titles. And, of course, he is ratcheting up those World Cup wins, but only one so far this year. Benny Vega. Don't remember mentioning his name so far this year.
Well, no, the individual, we bigged him up there, missing just one. He came 5th in Östersund, but yep, varied results since then. In fact, he pulled out of the pursuit in Hochfilzen, missing 3, 2, 1, and decided he'd had enough. He pulled out. The officials didn't take him out because he was lapped.
Now, that beard is about 2 inches longer than last year. I was just trying to think if you see any cyclists with beards. I don't think you do. I'm sure, surely there has to be some sort of wind resistance effect as we watch Lucas Hoffer coming up to 1.5. Sapala leading the way at the moment. You'd expect Hoffer to be inside that. In terms of ski speed, I had Hoffer 23 seconds slower than Johannes Tingesbø in Hochfilzen. So effectively 1 penalty loop behind the Norwegian.
That's a big margin. I think Lucas today, I just got this feeling he wants a podium before his home World Championships, and I think he's going to provide that soon, maybe today or tomorrow.
Well, I thought Julian Eberhardt looked pretty good in the opening week of the season. Hasn't quite fulfilled that so far. All the Austrians struggling a bit apart from... just trying to think, I'm sure there was one Austrian who did pretty well last year. It was Felix Leitner, wasn't it, who was pretty good in Hochfilzen, but certainly Eberhardt off the boil. No home pressure this time, though. Terje Bø, 4th in the World Cup standings. Last win was Östersund, 2018, in the sprint event there, so it's been a while, but my goodness, has he been consistent. Now, Samuelsson, can he match Hoffer? Up to 1.5, I think he will. That's a good start.
That's a great start, and that's a big form change from Samuelsson. Hopefully we'll see something of his best performances.
Jakob Fack, who's picked himself up 8 wins in his career. Of course, the mass start world champion from 2015, Kontiolahti.
That was a tough fight to the line, and Jaakko had pace. I remember he had a bit of a separation. Well, it was only Einar Bjørndalen and then Fack chasing Bjørndalen, and Fack really wanted that victory and pushed so hard over the last 300.
Now, here is the man who has been shooting quicker than anyone else in the prone and the stand. Lapshin, 21 seconds in the prone in the last sprint, 20 seconds in the stand. Absolutely lightning quick, but he doesn't really have the ski speed, and that's a high-risk strategy, isn't it, Mike?
It really is. He's about a midfield in terms of all this field. He's about middle of the pack in terms of ski speed, so he has reason that he can gain something by shooting fast, but it doesn't always pay off.
Well, Dessieux's gone through with a similar time to that of Seb Samuelsson. The clock is on Martin Fourcade, who started 30 seconds behind Simon Dessieux. It's going to be close. Could get the green light.
Look at his movements, Patrick. The old Martin, he'd come a little further up onto his toe. He'd compress more forcibly, and there's just something, I think it's a confidence issue. There's something missing.
I think he just isn't getting the oxygen into the system that he used to do. As you say, it used to be so much more dynamic. He'd be up on a high toe and driving down.
You just feel he's struggling already. He started fast, and you just feel he hasn't quite got that same punch.
No. Conditions are good for shooting. Johannes Tingersberg has won both sprints with a missed target. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it today.
Sanitra knows that he needed 5. In fact, his prone shooting generally has been, as normally in terms of biathlon, his prone shooting's better at 85%. It stands at 80%.
Dominic Vindish, good battle with Lukas Hoffer to be the #1 Italian. Vindish has proved a really good relay member so far this year. And I guess Italy's chance of a gold in the World Championships, obviously with the women, with Dorothea Vera going well, Vitozzi, if she can find her form again. But the mixed relay really is where you feel that they've got the best chance of all.
Yeah, I think so. And after that World Championships 3 years ago, medals, they got a lot of funding, just the 4 of them, and that's what made them good for the Olympic Games, and it's given them impetus. Rasteguyev's last year, he barely missed in pro, and he missed a lot in standing. This year, he's missing in both. That's a real pity.
Well, that's a poor shoot. So how do you explain those first 2 going wide?
I know the range earlier was in the sunshine, and then obviously we're dropping away daytime, local time 2:20. I know he zeroed further left off the range, and could have been in the sun. That was my thinking.
A lot of the coaches on the radios getting news out to the tracks that the shots are wayward. Just be a little bit careful.
Well, Lukas needed 10 today. Zingerle knew that for a podium. Well, he may still do it. If he gets 5 out of 5 standing, he may still do it. Zingerle's so relaxed, he doesn't stress, he doesn't run around, he doesn't panic.
We've got about 2 minutes before Martin Fourcade comes in for his first shoot. Seb Samuelsson with the quickest time. That green light relative to Sapala, who's the race leader. He was actually, Samuelsson, a little bit slower than Lukas Hoffer, but Hoffer with a penalty has come out in 8:37. Well, that's quick, considering he's done a penalty, Luke.
This is a huge step up, Patrick. Last week, he only missed 1 target, finished 48th in Hochfilzen. I thought he'd still be off form. I know skis do play a part sometimes.
And it's early days in the start sheet.
It is.
So 4 out of 5 for Samuelsson. Just as we watch Bjørntegard come in, Mike, I had a look at the stats from the Hochfilzen Sprint last year. 30 seconds ski speed time separating the top 2. Johannes Tingersberg fastest, Martin Fourcade 32 seconds behind, and everyone else some distance away. 11 skiers finishing last week within that 30-second bracket. So Johannes Tingersberg doesn't have that sort of trump card that he used to have.
No, he doesn't have that. I think he may find it, he's still performing well. Bjørntegard, I thought he would be the first to shoot clear, but that's 10 out of 10. He's got his 5. No, it is interesting how, and it's mostly the French team. They've raised their skiing by between 0.4 and 1.8%, the top 4 guys behind Martin. And that's quite a big shift in one summer.
Yeah, but good to see that Kuhn and Doll of Germany are in that top 10. Hoffer is there as well, and Horn. So 3 Germans skiing well, but just not shooting as well. Simon Dessieux, that's pretty quick and rapidly away. So Martin Fourcade, although he looks slow, has kept the pace going all the way into the shoot, whereas others have decelerated over the last 500 metres. Hence, he has the green light. 13.5 average. We're looking at a, 27, 28 second shoot.
That rifle is so unbelievably steady. He's back to his best. Slow first shot, maybe.
Yeah, 26 for Martin Fourcade. And this is going to be tight. 2 Frenchmen go, 1 and 2. And that's just what the local fans want. But they know enough about biathlon to know that the celebrations can't start quite yet.
And there was me daring to say that Martin didn't look as sparky, but the race isn't over yet. Jacqueline setting the early fast times on the previous time check.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work on the power front. Best, the youngest in the top 10 of the World Cup standings at the moment, Jacqueline.
doesn't come much better than that. You're just watching the end of the rifle. No movement, slight movement as he was recocking, putting the next round up the chamber. No movement at all for about a 1.5, 2 second period. Frank Bideau on the right, Patrick Favre on the left. He's won one World Cup, I think Patrick has, but racing for Italy, the Italian.
Julian Eberhardt just off the pace set by Martin Fourcade. Remember Fourcade getting that first round away in 13.5 and then taking some 2.5 seconds in between. Oh, he needed that. That's a shame. Eberhardt would have been right up there, but a penalty loop puts him some 23, 24 seconds behind. Now, man who's been very, very consistent this year so far. And actually, if anyone is skiing quicker than Johannes Tingesbø, it is this man. Best form we've seen him on since he won the overall World Cup back in 2011. Focus is there. The result is there. Good shooting from Tingesbø. That's a nice start. And with a 25.4, he's taken, what, second and a half off Martin Fourcade. And he's got himself a lead of 1.7. So, Norway back in charge. And this season, Mike, has really been France, Norway, Russia.
Russia, and the best of the Russians about to start. Logging off, he'll shoot today, I reckon, in 22 seconds in the pro, and probably pushing that limit in stand shooting as well.
Yeah, I don't think the Russians were expecting quite such good results from Loganov. Back problems over the summer, seems to have put that right without the use of a surgeon's knife, which is always good news.
That's the trouble. A lot of these tall athletes, Benedict Dahl, one of them, you put a lot of leverage through your lower back, double pole training, and carrying a rifle. Shetland pony style, I think's best. Size, that is. Germans, hopefully, we mentioned the French, the Germans, Russians and Norwegians. After the relay on Sunday, where Benedict nearly held to the line to take the victory, I'm hoping the German team have found some confidence.
Good speed coming in, and just wondering whether the tracks are actually getting a little bit faster in the last couple of minutes. Everyone seems to be producing that green light as we watch Benedict Dahl. He's got 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5, good start, and maybe Mark Kirchner will have something to celebrate. Of course, Germany having a good relay last week, Mike. Sensational finish.
It really was. Benedict Dahl, he tried and he tried and he tried, but he could not keep the great Johannes Tingesbø at bay. I thought you were going to say Mark Kirchner maybe might smile, but then you said something else. He's a nice guy, and he does smile a lot.
He's got a job to do, and it's
3 spare rounds, just in case there's issues.
Yeah, very high pressure job. There are the spare rounds, should things go wrong.
And sandpaper on the wooden grip, so it really doesn't move, locked into your glove. Hats off.
Johannes Tingesbø. Can he keep his run of success here in Le Grand-Bornand going? He won in 2013 and went on to win the pursuit. He won in 2017 and went on to win the pursuit. And he hasn't been beaten in a sprint so far this year. He's looking to make it 5 sprint World Cups in succession. No one has ever done that. Drachev had won 4. And of course, if Johannes Tingesbø wins today, he goes ahead of Martin Fourcade in terms of sprint World Cup victories. How about that?
That's pretty impressive, although still second overall to Bjørn Dalen, who's won 35.
Look at that from Jacques Alain. That is quick, and the time coming in is good. A 24.2, a couple of seconds taken out of Martin Fourcade on the range, and he converts that into the lead. So it goes back. It's gone Norway to Germany, back to France, who are controlling things at the moment. It's going to become, Mike, although the shooting here is pretty easy, it's going to be quite a high-pressure stand, simply because everyone's going to know that there are only a couple of seconds separating the top 10.
And everybody, you know, that very pressure, I need to shoot fast, I need to get 5. So therefore, you need to take some risk. Shooting fast when you're out of breath, in stand position, there's an element of risk. So maybe maybe Martin Fourcade, for example, will shoot 26, 27 seconds to ensure he gets 5.
Now, you said or stated the significance of Hoffer's miss in the prone, and then backed it up by saying he might get on the podium, but the way things are going in the prone, Mike, that's looking unlikely.
It is indeed. at the moment. He's going to shoot fast, as he always does. Well done.
That's nice. That's nice. And now he's thinking about that miss in the prone shot, because that would have been a very, very promising run and would have put a lot of pressure on. Let's have a look at the time. Pigdrushny on 17.13. He's comfortably inside that. But starting number 4, you would expect that from Lukashov. It's about time he got another win, Mike, because he's so often there. And it would be nice to see an Austrian on the podium as well. Felix Leitner, at the moment, looks as though he's going to be the one to do it.
He's the youngest by far in the lineup in the Austrian team. Still only 22, and I see a World Cup win from this man this season. And I would say many more in the future.
Yeah, the Austrian team reminds me of the German team of old, when they were dominating the Fischers, the Lux, the Grosses. You know, they stuck by the famous 4 for so long, and then had a really lean period when they suddenly said, I've had enough, I'm retiring.
It takes time to rebuild. You have to keep bringing these young lads in.
That's what Norway are good at. Bjørntegard has been blooded many times, and is now one of the best.
He is. Don't let me down, Bjørntegard. I said he'd get 10. He does.
There you go. Great shooting. Great shooting. And Hoffa's time of 16.49 is going to be at least 25 seconds more. Not quite. 21.2 coming in, 20.6 going out. So Bjørntegard has control at the moment. Dessieux clear in the first shoot. Martin Fourcade, remember, started 30 seconds after him. Should be in shortly. That's his chance of a win gone. No doubt about it today. Just get that feeling. It's got to be a perfect score. Will it be provided by Martin Fourcade? 4.5 seconds ahead of Bjørntegard coming in. Now he can shoot pretty quick in the stand.
Cannot believe he took huge risk there at 9.5 for his first shot.
Oh, my goodness, Mike, what has happened? How many times have we seen him miss 2 in the sprint? Oh. And he knows that he's not going to win today, and that makes life very, very difficult for the pursuit on Saturday.
You could just feel and see the negativity coursing through his brain right now. He knows that to release at 9.5 is a high-risk strategy. It's under 11 is a high-risk strategy, and it really hasn't paid off. It tightened him up to make him even miss that last shot.
Yeah, he did it in Hochfilzen, shooting in 21 seconds there, and off he goes on that second loop. I wonder what he thought when he saw the start sheet, Mike, starting just behind a team member who he does many, many hours of training with, but right up the front. He's starting a long way ahead of Johannes Tingis, ahead of Terje Bø, ahead of so many of the other faster skiers like Phil Maillet in his own team.
Yeah, and maybe Dessieux put him off. He'd slowly closed the gap on Dessieux, and maybe he was watching someone else.
Johannes Kern, time a little bit slower than I would have thought, 5.8. He was fourth, fifth fastest, only gave away 10, 11 seconds to Johannes Tingis in the sprint in Austria. .3 to the first shot. That's 5 seconds gone, and that's what, 25 meters given away. He's going to have to work hard to claw that back, but at least he's cleared the first 5. Keeps him in contention, but down in 9th place. Now, big moment for Terje Bø. Here we go. Well, how about that? Ziggy Mazzet's having a good day. He absolutely loves seeing Bjørntegard's targets fall. Terje Bø has gone 10 with 10, and the light green coming in. Is it going to stay green? It is, but by the slimmest of margins. 2 Norwegians now, 1 and 2, and with the French missing, both Dessieux and Fourcade missing, they're going to rely on Quentin Fillon-Maillet, who started number 48. Logging off a potential winner, certainly, but 13.4 behind already on that first loop. That's a bit of a worry.
That is a worry, and Anatoly there, I think, is surprised also that he released the first shot at 17.6 seconds. Now, I thought it would be faster.
The first 10 seemed to get quicker and quicker, Mike. Now you can see the track starting to cut up. That's not going to help the later starters in Group 1. And waiting for Johannes Tingesbø to come through to the... Has he gone through 1.5? I don't think he has yet. No.
Not yet. Yeah, it
won't be long.
In fact,
7 is Erlend Bjørntegard heading for home. Benedict Døhl. Wow, the green light, 7.7. Is it lucky for him? It is. Down it goes. And Benedict Døhl certainly gives Germany a chance of getting on the podium. So, 16.28 by Tariabo. He's got about another 20 meters to go. He's almost going to have double figures. He does. 12 seconds inside. And that is a comfortable margin. Now, pressure is on. Johannes Tinges is quick, very quick. Look at that, 12.4. Does turn to attack the first loop harder than anyone else, but he cannot afford a miss.
Look at that, 12.4 into the range. That's a huge ski time. Those huge raised sides just to make it more comfortable, especially in stand shooting.
He doesn't rush that first shot. Oh my goodness, that could be it. He's missed a shot in every sprint so far, and that could cost him his 5th successive sprint win. But don't doubt your chickens quite yet, because with 12.4 on the first lap, Mike, if he does that on every lap, that is a penalty loop.
Incredible. I mean, this is a little like the way he raced last year. He would sometimes take 17 seconds off the next fastest on the first lap and then suffer, take the pain to the end of the race. He really has to take the pain now.
9.8 behind, having done a penalty loop of 150 meters. Did you see Fack's face when he went past him on the loop? He's saying, what? No one's ever overtaken him on a penalty loop before. Jacquelin. That's too expensive. Home pressure again?
I think so. And Martin, when it first came here in 13-14, Martin alluded to the fact that took his hat off, in fact, to all those countries that staged World Cups regularly, because he said the pressure was massive. It's a different kind of pressure.
Good strong finish from Lukas Hofer, and so important because in 2 days' time they have a pursuit, and the pursuit start is determined by the result of the sprint today. So double jeopardy if you make a bad mistake on the sprint. Let's just have a look. After the first shoot, the leaderboard, Jacquelin, Døhl and Bø. After the second shoot, it's Døhl, Tariabo, Bjørntegard, Vindish, Lapshin, the top 5, and Lukas Hofer, who we've just seen finish lying in 6th, 33 seconds down after that second shoot. So he's not going to stay in top position for too long. We're expecting Bjørntegard to come through and pip him by some 15 seconds or so. Here he is.
The final rise, quite a steep little rise this is. Bjørntegard has really picked his ski speed up today. His shooting's always pretty good, one of the best on through the rifle, but he really has picked his ski time today, and that's bad news for Lukas Hofer.
Yeah, that was a beautiful section of skiing up that hill, very dynamic, beautifully balanced. Stayed low for the uphill, then stood tall once he was over the top, and that's a strong finish, 22.1. He has taken he's taken something like 3.5 seconds off Lukas Hofer on that last loop alone.
That's incredible. I'm very impressed. Lukas, there is a ski issue today. You're in the sun for a third of the course. You're in the shade. There's quite a difference there in the structure of the snow. So you have to balance the structure on the base of the ski.
I think Bjørntegard could be in the top 5 for the first time this year. What about Simon Dessieux with that missed shot? He's after Lukas Hofer's time, 22. He's got something like 15 seconds to complete. He's still got 100 meters or so to go. And Simon Dessieux will be ruining that one miss in the stand position. I don't think he's quite going to nip inside, but it will be very tight. Bjørntegard of Norway leading. Hofer in second, and he goes down a third. Dessieux, it was worth that little bit of extra effort over the last 150, and the lunge for the line. France into second place. Martin Fourcade. Well, this is a similar position. Dessieux versus Fourcade, Mike. Fourcade was 10 seconds behind his teammate coming out of the range, and he's not going to be able to pull that back, so he's going to stay at least 4. Pedrushny on 48 is going down to 5, and so Martin Fourcade into 4th position for now. He's given away 31 seconds to Bjørntegard. He could end up, what, 45, 50 seconds down at the start of the pursuit on Saturday.
That's Martin will be, the way his mind works, he is a perfectionist. He'll be hurting with that performance today, and he probably knows already the reasons why that happened. Just too tense, trying to get the first shot off too fast.
When did you last see him take his skis off crossing the line? It's a long while, huh? That was, if he doesn't hurry up, he won't be able to bend down that far.
He did that for his first 5 years, and I thought that was so impressive every time when your legs are that tired. Prima normally shoots well standing, but missing the last 2 shots. You can kind of relax. When you've got the first 3, you think, oh, this is easy today. And mentally, you can just back off, change your thoughts slightly, and it's incredible how that can affect the release of the shot.
Terje Bø, he's after the lead, and he had a lead of some 6 seconds over Bjørntegard coming out of the range. It could well be his day. If Johannes Tingis isn't winning, it could be his brother who tops the table today. But Johannes Tingis isn't out of it, despite the fact that he's missed 1 shot. 10 seconds to go, 50 metres. The lead is changing hands, and Terje Bø, who hasn't won since Östersund in 2018, is 5.6 seconds to the good.
We haven't seen him, Patrick, but Benedict Dahl has cleared in the standing as well, and he's got a 12-second lead over Terje Bø. Good day for the Germans.
Yeah, we did see his second shoot. It was very fast, and he looked to be in pretty good shape coming out of the range. So he should be coming in quite soon. He started only a minute and a half. Here he is, right on cue. And look at that margin. I think he's extended it. He was 11.2, as Mike said, after the, or 12 seconds after the second shoot. 11.2 at 8.1. Still got a way to go. Big left-hand turn, then that little rise before he drops down and into the finishing straight. 38 seconds to play with. It's still looking good for Germany.
He'll know full well that he's got a good lead at this point. He'll want to extend that just to make sure no one else can chase him.
Only 1 win in his career. That, of course, was the World Championships in Hochfilzen back in 2017. He would love to get a World Cup victory to his name. And this is the sort of performance that might just do it. But he can't relax quite yet. We've still got Johannes Tingis out there. We've got Fionn Maillet, who's not gone so well with the rifle so far. 9.4. Terje Bø already down a second. He's thinking, what have I got to do to get another win? Logging off, Mike. That's another clear shoot, but 32 seconds behind. He's not going to get any closer.
He's brilliant through the rifle, and he must be so annoyed that he's lacking in terms of ski pace, fitness, strength, whatever it is. Not quite there yet.
It wasn't Fionn Maillet, it was, of course, Desur Fourcade who struggled. Fionn Maillet on his first shoot right now. A little bit slower than we would have thought. .15 seconds to the first shoot. What are we looking at? 28? 28.1 for Fionn Maillet. And as long as he stays within 15, he's still got a chance. Is he playing it tactically and taking that first lap pretty steady? He knows these tracks better than most of the racers here. I like that, Mike.
Yeah, of course he does. I like the way that he was disciplined to not release the first shot too fast, and that paid back for him.
Now, Vindish with a chance of going into the top 4. Desur on 36.4 behind is, I think, certainly going down into 5th. Yeah, so another good run from Dominic Vindish, and both Hoffer and Vindish right up there just to sort of support what we said about the mixed relay. He needs 5. Oh, he's thrown it wide. He rushed that last one. It was in the bag, Mike. He would have had it. He would have had it.
I think you'll agree that he snatched it. He was on this very good timing, but the brain would have seen some black there, but it was just a pre-reaction. He'll be so frustrated now. Can he ski his way out of trouble?
Look how wide they go on that first part of the penalty loop, looking for the faster snow.
Is it possible?
No,
only one man can
surely
do
not.
it. If it's 15 or more, no, doesn't look like it today.
2.3 behind. He would have had a lead of something like 4 or 5 seconds over Benedikt Doll, and the man with the biggest smile on his face is the German Benedikt Doll, because he's seen that and he knew that Johannes Tingis was very, very dangerous today. Jacques Galin, as we mentioned, the youngest man in the top 10 of the World Cup standings. He realised he did not have enough strength, couldn't get the glide that Fourcade was doing. Vincent Vito has really done good work with the French team, just really stressing how important strength is in this game.
Very much, and you know, Vincent Vito, his career was a top-class athlete in cross-country skiing. I thought it was of course the skills are crossover in terms of biathlon, but he's had a huge impact on the French team.
In terms of the battle for the overall World Cup lead, Mike, coming out of that second shoot, Johannes Tingis in 4th, despite missing 2. Martin Fourcade down in 10th, having missed 2. And Fourcade, as we know, started number 9. And his position in the finish, he's down in 8th already, 46 seconds behind. Christiansen finishes well. That is what Maze wanted to see from Johannes Tingis.
What I think Christiansen displayed there was incredible discipline, so he wasn't comfortable, he needed more air, and he took a long pause after shot 3, and it really paid off.
42 seconds at the finish will put him into 7th or 8th. Now, Johannes Tingis, Mike, what was the deficit going through?
Was he left the shooting? Here he comes up the field. It's 17. It was 17.5.
Yeah, so it's going the wrong way. Those who shot clear, given that extra little bit of motivation for the last loop. Had he come out 5 seconds down, absolutely no doubt he would have been on the chase. But I think he knows even he can't achieve that. As we have a look at the standings after the second shoot, incredible to miss 2 and still be up there ahead of some very, very good skiers who've gone clear. Vindish, Lapshim, Loganov shooting the perfect score. Well, it's setting up an interesting situation for the pursuit. And it's looked very much, to me, Mike, as if it's going to be Benedikt Doll who starts. We haven't seen Antonin Guiganat, who, remember, did so well here last year, got on the podium here in, well, not last year, in 2017, 2 years ago.
That's right, his first podium. He certainly feels comfortable here, his hometown. But, yes, I'm looking down for big names that could threaten. Arnd Pfeiffer, possibly. The Germans, Benedikt, without doubt, is feeling more comfortable today after the good performance on Sunday. Hopefully that translates to Arnd Pfeiffer feeling more positive today. Kretschmar. I thought the Czech Republic, the men's team, and the women's team, of course, but the men's team, I thought they did very well at the weekend. 5th position in the relay?
Yeah, I think they've started the season pretty well. Certainly, Davidova looked promising on the women's side. And they've got a mix of old campaigners and youngsters, which is really just what you want. So, 17.6 was it at the last split we had?
He's pulling some back. It was 17.6, now it's 15.9. What does he need to get up into second place?
It's all about places now, really, isn't it? Because of the World Cup points. Bjorn Tegard on 15 looks as though he's in a spot of bother, but Johannes Tingis is starting to look quite tired. He'll be mighty glad that they've got a day off tomorrow. Mark Kirchner, yes, that's what he's been waiting for all season. And Benedikt Doll, the man to provide. Great shooting, but rapid first and second laps.
Incredible. And you know, he does always ski pretty fast. Top 6 ski time he normally provides, and the day that he gets 10, he's always a threat for a win. It's just that he doesn't often get those perfect shooting days.
Yeah, Kern is the fastest of the German skiers, not by much. 3 or 4 seconds usually taken off Benedikt Doll, and of course a lot of that comes down to the individual skis. And Kern with 2 misses. Is he the second fastest man to have missed 2. No, he's not, actually. Martin Fourcade missed 2's ahead of him. Eberhardt missed 2's ahead of him. And we know that Johannes Tingesbø is ahead of him. So maybe just starting to tire. It's been a pretty full-on period of racing since the season opened in Östersund, what, 3 weekends ago?
It certainly is. I'm just thinking we're likely to see the Bø brothers on this podium. Well, it's not over yet. There's still plenty of race left, but of course Johannes Tingesbø has moved up into 3rd place ahead of Bjørntegard, and he's only 5 seconds off his brother.
Yeah, Dale could join the mix. It's got to be quick. It's got to be clean. It is clean. And he's got some way to go, so he's going to be around 20 seconds. He's got to have saved something for this final lap. Here comes Loganov, another very, very good shooting performance from him. He was absolutely on fire in Austria last weekend. Hardly missed the target, only missed one in the relay. So consistent results from him, Mike. He's, you know, he's going to challenge for the overall World Cup. He's in 2nd at the moment.
He is, but you know, when you've had the perfect shoot and you're 44.8 seconds behind Benedict Dahl, who also had the perfect shoot, you can't gain anything on the rifle. So it's purely about physical technique, physical form at this time. And Loganov isn't there yet. He needs to find a lot, 44 seconds today.
Despite going clear, he's in danger of getting his worst result of the season. Fabien Cloud on the range. This is Quentin Fillmaier now. Has he recovered? 12.4 down, but 20 seconds to play with. Fast, furious. And very, very accurate required. 10.2 to the first shot. It's looking good. It's a sub 25 second shoot, and Fillmaier puts himself in the mix. A chance of going on to the podium. That might be very, very possible, Mike. Although Johannes Tingis is pushing good times on the lap. There goes the clock, and he's into the red now. Dahl stays as the race leader. Tingesbø at 9.4 is going to stay 2nd, and Bjørntegard on 15 is going out of the top 3 afield. It's going to be tight, very tight. 14, 15, actually just squeezes in front. But with Fillmaier shooting clear, Mike, France still have a chance of taking this one.
Well, Johannes had to dig into that special place that he can dig into. Not many can dig that deep. But I do think the track is getting slower in terms of the glide back to the stadium. The snow is splashing up now.
Don't tell Fillmaier that. Johannes Dahl of Germany leading the way at the moment, ahead of Tingesbø. Johannes Tingesbø in 3rd place, so the 2 brothers are there, but they're not likely to stay on the podium because we have one Quentin Fillmaier of France who has delighted the crowd with a clear shoot, and he's left the range 9.5 down, but in 2nd place. Now Fillmaier, Mike, as we mentioned earlier, 2nd fastest in Austria last week in the sprint event, only 0.2 slower than Johannes Tingis. How big a factor is the breakup of the track? Is that worth 9 seconds? Can he claw it back?
9 seconds, it's a huge task. He will be going for it, that's for sure. I think the snow is a small factor. Not so much on the way up the valley, but on the way back down, as Johannes Tingesbø showed us, he lost some 4 seconds on his brother on that descent section.
You sure don't want a lung full of that if you're racing around.
You're going to get it, and the brain gets annoyed. You think, what are they doing? They're poisoning me. And you know, the brain flickers through those thoughts.
Here comes Fillmaier, 25, remember he was 9 down coming out of the range. He's chasing that split time of 19.57 by Dahl of Germany. Well, they call him Johannes Dahl, it's Benedict Dahl, of course.
Yes, I think you were seeing a Johannes here and a Johannes there, and I meant to correct you, but
well,
it turned more exciting.
Oh, thanks.
I will next time. He looks so composed, so relaxed at this incredible push that he's giving us. His time's going to be good through this one. Whether he loses it on the descent back to the stadium, it's not. He's lost half a second.
He's lost another second to Dahl, so that's good news for the German team at least. But, you know, as far as the fans are going, Mike, they desperately wanted to see one Frenchman shoot clear. And I think if they'd have chosen any, Fourcade or Fillmaier, one or the other, but they'll be slightly confused that a man who's been consistently fast all year is struggling.
the strange thing today, I think, what we've witnessed, looking at the French team, for the first time, they seem a little off colour today. They look brilliant in Östersund, they look fantastic in Hochfilzen, not quite the same, edgy on through the rifle, and it must be to do with the home pressure.
Well, he's still in second place, but he now only has 5 seconds to play with as far as Johannes Tingis is concerned, and a second, less than a second, 0.9 of a second to Tarjei Bø, who's in second. So it looks as though Tarjei may survive in that second place. We will see. Here's the man who looks as though he's going to take the win. I know we've got 103 starters, but I just can't see anyone being able to match the speed, and add to that the fact that the track is breaking up fairly dramatically at the moment.
I'd like to see another slow-mo of his upper body. Incredible how high his left hand, when he skate one, Benedikt Dahl, how high his left hand goes, way above his head. Look at this routine. So right now he's just in automatic. He's done this thousands of times, magazine in. He's trying to let the lower stomach is pumping to get as much air in as possible, settling. Good support through his left hand. And, well, one of his best days on the range. The day that he hits all 10, he can create magic. Dale, strong and seems to be improving with each race that goes by. More confidence being built and more race knowledge. Better race lines, maybe. Although at this stage in his career, most of the learning has been done, but you never stop learning. Another great performance. 5th position.
So Norway will be pretty happy at the moment in the finish. They have 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. That will change. There'll be a French flag in there somewhere, but they'll be a bit disappointed they haven't got a relay this week. In terms of which venue holds which event, Mike, do the venues say this is what we want to host, or do the IBU say this is what you're going to host?
I think the overview, there's many meetings to discuss it, and I think it's more an IBU-led decision.
Well, let's focus on this for a moment. 24 seconds. Fiolmaye will not match that time of Benedikt Dahl. It takes at least 30 seconds from here. He's got one more little climb to go. We'll get an idea of just what he's got left in the legs. Through that soft, sloppy patch on the corner safely. And now he accelerates over the top of the rise. 7 seconds behind at the moment. Tarjei Bø on 9.4 is really the time we're looking at. So the winner's gone. And Benedikt Dahl, with a big smile on his face, knows his second win is coming his way. Fiolmaye has kept the crowd on their feet. 9.4, he's going to miss out on second, but he goes into third, and he's taken the scalp of the World Cup leader, Johannes Tingis Bø, who is 14 down. What a finish. Not quite what the locals wanted, but well done to Fiolmaye. Under pressure, home pressure cannot be overstated.
It cannot, and I'm so impressed with half of his biathlon, where he hit the perfect score, but incredibly, the ski times that he showed us last week and the week before in Sweden have kind of left him for this event today.
Here's a former sprint world champion, Arndt Pfeiffer, and a man who knows how to win major medals. Did it in the World Championships last year. He did it out in Chianti-Manzisk. Was that 2003? Can't have been that long ago.
Not quite that long ago. He only came through in 2007-8. But of course, the Olympic gold medalist in Pyeongchang.
...2011, Pfeiffer's World Championship victory in Chianti-Manzisk. Now, Jan has impressed us with his skiing so far this year, Mike. Because of his ranking, didn't get a look in terms of getting into Group 1.
No, that is problematic. I like the pace of shooting here. No risk, he just wants to guarantee that he gets 5, and he's achieved that.
Yeah, 34 seconds, so an extra 5 seconds on average, on the average performance until that first shot was let off, but a really nice rhythm, and I think Uliana will be pretty happy with what his charge has done today. Certainly, there's a chance of more World Cup points coming Jan's way. 16 seconds given away on the first loop. If we take the conditions into account, we could say that's 10 seconds. So the day he produces a clear shoot. Now, Simon Schemp. Similar time to Jan.
Very similar. Huge weight added on at the end of his rifle. It's not a windy day, but maybe indicating that he hasn't felt comfortable through his rifle. Make it heavier, it makes it more stable. But the ski speed's off. I thought Shem might show us something much improved in performance today, but let's be honest, he's a little unlucky. And Bib, he's at the very end of Group 3. I know it's on a draw, but he could have been bib number 52, but he's way back at 83. Been drawn in that same Group 3.
So who do you think gets priority in the French team at the moment? Fourcade is, he's number 2 in the World Cup rankings, with Simon Dessure up there as well. So do you think they've gone on rankings, and that is why Filmé, who although he's 8th in the World Cup standings, is 5th in the French team?
And sadly, if they put Filmé, but no, so it is on World Cup ranking. Your ranking in the world dictates the draw that you're going to get today, boys. You've got to be good. We'll give you the best option, and dropping all the way down. It can be very depressing for Philipp Horn and the German team. We saw in starting, and luck of the draw, almost at the end of the field, back end of Group 4 all the time, and it must be soul-destroying.
It's a good effort from Porshnev, and keeps him well placed in the top 15. Numbers that are important, I guess top 40, because top 40 all win World Cup points, top 60 because they all then get to race in 2 days' time in the pursuit. Top
60, and I think this course allows a tighter finish. Normally we say 2 minutes 5 to 2 minutes 23. That's where you'll get your top 60 in the men's field. In fact, the women's team were 2:11, the same as the men's in Hochfilzen.
And 40 seconds separating the top 10. Slightly bigger gap than we were expecting after a very close start in terms of ski speed. Well, we'll get to see some athletes that we haven't seen before. Eduard Latipov. This could be sub 25.
Not bad, not bad.
Well, he needed it, giving away 1:17 on the first 2 laps, so 6.66 Ks and almost a minute 20 lost. Nowadays, it's all high-tech, like the car tyres. Dole, Bø, Filmé, Bø, Bjørntegard. Norwegian flag very much in evidence in the top 6 positions. Germany, though, topping the lot at the moment. So changes to the top 5, very unlikely. We can't see anyone who started later than Filmé, who started 48. No one who started later than 48 has got into the top 10 after the first shoot. Porshnev's put in a good performance. The Russian has gone through the first shoot and he's down in 16th place, 18.4 behind. So he might possibly, he might possibly squeeze into the top 10 at the end of the day. But is anyone outside Group 2 going to do better than that? I very much doubt it.
Just looking at individuals who have improved the most since the first race of the season, I think it goes the way of Ponsaluma. And Samuelson much better today as well in terms of ski speed. Ponsaluma today 15th. He had his 61st position in this race in Östersund, but then 83rd last week, and 15th today. That's a grand improvement.
The Swiss will be looking forward to tomorrow. Women's team have done well. The women's race, incidentally, tomorrow starts at exactly the same time. 1:15 UK time for the women's sprint. Vera trying to make it 3 sprints in succession this season. That could be a tough job. She's going to have to shoot a little bit better than she has been doing. Saturday, the pursuits, and then first mass start of the season on Sunday. And this isn't a bad performance so far. Reinkel, 17.8 outside coming in. He's got a similar time to Porshnev of Russia, who we've just mentioned.
He looks very composed. That is a good ski time from the Estonian. Zachna as well. I think this is a growing Estonian team, but missing one is too expensive when you're not one of the fastest skiers. Well, Reinkel was 107th last weekend in Hochfilzen, missing 8 targets. And he's missed 4 again today already.
Well, what have we learnt about, I was going to say, Johannes Tingesbø? We might as well talk about Fillon Maillet, who's the best of the French today. He's in third ahead of this man, Tariabo, who's got another podium finish. Been a really consistent season for him. He's gone 2, 6, 6, 6. Looks as though he's going back up to 2 again today.
And you know, if you take his younger brother out of the field, he's almost, I think that Tariabo is almost where he was back in, what, 2010-11, where he won the overall.
Yeah.
He's looking that sharp.
And Benedict Doyle, who started today in 12th position in the overall World Cup, should easily catapult himself into the top 10. 7th possible, I guess, but it will depend on...
I thought that would have re-energised him, a change of scenery, come back fresh, but we haven't seen any of his old magic yet this season.
He was a big threat, 15, 16, 17. Those seasons he was on very, very good form. Of course, abandoned last year. That's nice to see him hit 5 in the stand. That might raise his spirits. He's not looked particularly happy. And when you've been persuaded to come back on the tour, Mike, you really need some success pretty quickly to make you appreciate that you've made the right decision.
Well, he needs to dig deep over this next 3.3 kilometres. And his time is good there, given the slower conditions now. Schempe not having a bad day at all. Ardula, brilliant, 10 out of 10.
No one starting later than 48 has got themselves into the top 25 at this stage of the race. Porshnev might be the first man to achieve that. He's got to be within 55 of the leaders. He should certainly be that. So that's a really outstanding performance from Nikita Porshnev.
I didn't see what caused the problem, but he put his 5th bullet in, I thought. He thought so as well, but it didn't snap, it didn't fire. So he had to break position, look at it in the chamber, push the ball forward again, straight. See how high they've climbed from departing the range. It's a brutal climb. .107. So Schemp losing quite a bit of time from the range to the high point. He was 56 behind, so in those 700 meters, he's lost nearly 10 seconds.
Well, he's looking for a PB, is Porshnev, and he needs to get himself into the top 33 to achieve that. I think he might just be inside. Coming out of the range, he was got himself up into 13th position. Lost a little bit of time. Has he lost any positions? Just 3. So a top 20 would be a fantastic day for him. And almost more important than that, Mike, almost more important than the World Cup points is the fact that he's going to get a competitive start in the pursuit in 2 days' time. That's where his experience will come from.
I think so. And when
Simon Schemp.
So leaving the range, it was 56.7. Then he dropped 10 seconds. What's he going to do this time? On his teammate, of course.
Yeah, he's going to struggle to make the top 30 today, I think. So the way things are going, the position's so tight. Johannes Kern down in 19. Pfeiffer outside the top 20. Cloud likewise. Seb Samuelson, who started very early, he's down around 27, and Schemp coming through 31st position, 1:13 behind.
Well, he's lost another 6 seconds on that section.
But you know what he's thinking?
Give
me Group 1.
Give me Group
1.
He is. And Eric Lesser, his teammate who started bib number 102, he'll be thinking the same.
Now, can Porshnev hold on to a top 25? Top 20 might even be possible. It's a really good performance. And coming out of the range for the second time, he is the second best Russian behind Alexander Loginov, and Loginov in 9th place. So that's, you know, I think the coaches will look at that and say, OK, we have to take into account the snow conditions and what you might have lost on that last loop. But that's not the Russian coach's style, is it? You get what you got.
Hey, that's your group you're in. Live with it. Make the most of it. Well, this is an intense finish coming up towards his finish. Weissner. Well, he's fighting to make that cut off the top 60. Needs to keep it going.
He should just about do that, but we've got quite a few people who are going to get into the top 50, so he could be the last man on the start sheet for the pursuit, and more often than the track. So let's put it down to that, and we'll see what he can do after the Christmas break. Might be able to just recover, come back rejuvenated. 1 minute 19 behind, lots of time lost on that last loop, and
pressure, but he's a whole lot better today. Well, we thought he might make the top 20. It's not to be, and I think the tracks are playing a huge part of that.
That's still a very, very good run. He's got himself a good PB, some 10 places better than he's ever been before, and he'll be delighted that he's managed to hit the targets. Hitting
top 10, certainly top 5 often in terms of ski speed. The day he gets 10 is always a good day for him.
6 out of the top 7 all shooting the perfect score. Johannes Tingis on 2.
Incredible, finishing 4th, only 14 seconds behind. That is an incredible ski pace from Johannes. So he'll be annoyed that he's only 3 seconds off the podium alongside his brother once again.
But if he's going to get beaten by someone, he likes being beaten by his brother, but he will be disappointed not to share the podium with Teliabo on this occasion. Great day for Benedikt Doll. He takes the win, his first or his second ever victory at this level. Some big names further down the order are Pfeiffer down in 21, Porshnev, who started late. Look at that, best of the last starters by a long, long way. I hope he gets his chance. No relay this week. We have a mass start, first mass start.